Alright, guys, how are y'all? See, try and get this pulled up here. How's things going? John, what's going on, man? I have not been to, man, I haven't been to Walmart in a minute. What's up, Tua? Yeah, I really try not to go to Walmart. If I can, I'll be honest, kind of ordering it off of Amazon. And what's up, dude? Ordering it off of Amazon and getting it sent direct to the house, or I am, my wife does the like grocery pickup there at Walmart, so I don't go in. So let me know if the audio is good and how things are working out there. And yeah, if there's any, thank you, Williams. Appreciate it, dude. I am certainly curious. Hey, what's going up, Raven? I'm certainly curious if any of you all are dabbling with the solar system like John is mentioning. Not one up in the sky. I'm talking about solar panels and whatnot. Definitely curious about what you all are running. But John, what do you got going on at Walmart? Kind of interested to hear that. When I do shop, if I have to go to a store, like last night I went to a store, I went to Harps. It's like a smaller chain. It's employee-owned kind of deal. It's more expensive, but generally the food is more fresh and sorry, I got an email. Generally the food's more fresh and way less people, and the customer service is superior to Walmart. So if I have the option, I go to Harps if I need something. Plus they got cannolis and tiramisu, and I'm kind of a fan of both of those. So, and they make them there in their bakery. So if you're into sweets and whatnot, which I am actually sitting outside because it is way cooler this evening than it has been the last couple days. This morning was actually nice until maybe 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, until it started to get warm. Williams, you can mess with them if that's your thing. If you're capable of it, then have at it. Who am I to tell you not to? But can you give the rest of a heads up, please? Yeah, Raven, that's interesting. I just got, let me think here. I just picked up a half beef from a local rancher the other day. And when we break it down, it ends up being slightly cheaper. So that's how we decide to roll with things here. We just, we get a, let me think here. We go through a whole, oh, you know what I forgot is my stinking mosquito repellent. I'm gonna go get that in a second. You know what? I'm gonna go get it now before I get bit up, and then I'll catch up with you. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Sorry. I say I'm sorry. Sorry for y'all, but I'm glad that I've got the Thermacell. I was already getting bit up, and I've only been out here a few minutes. Okay, let's catch up here. Yeah, so definitely cheaper to buy it from a local butcher. I don't know about a farmer's market. I love the thought of supporting a farmer's market, but I'll be completely honest. I haven't been to one in years. I don't know if it's just my location or time or what. I love the idea of it. I cannot seem to make it to a farmer's market. And part of it too that I've run into is that it's not very consistent. So there's that. And I go buy a whole bunch of stuff, and then I'll bring it home. My wife's like, we don't eat that. And I'm like, yeah, but it was fresh and it was there. And she's like, that's cool. So, all right. Spam is wiped out, which is funny because I threw away a can of Spam today. I've never ate it before in my life. I've bought it, but I don't think I have ever ate Spam. And I think I'm okay with making it my whole life without eating it. Oh, the bike ride home this morning was nice. What do you mean the bike ride home this morning? Are you working nights, William? I didn't know that. I thought you were working, I don't know, I just assumed you were working a day shift. Did not have any idea you worked nights. Golly, I am getting bit up, or was. Alright, neither Walmart nor Hormel, the maker of Spam, has announced any discontinuation or ban on spelling spam. Viral videos have been circulating online pushing a fictional countdown about canned goods disappearing on August 1st. I did not know that. But in full transparency, I have not been keeping up with the news lately. I have listened to a very little news, anything, not even like conspiracy theory news or truth news. I really have just been kind of in my little hole here working and trying to get caught up on things. Not caught up, but I'm just trying to do my own thing, which you all would not be able to tell by the videos I've been putting out. So I'm sorry. We're working on it. It just takes time. There's a lot going on. And yeah. So, well, that's interesting. Did any of you all see this deal about the time traveler that got interviewed on YouTube? I have not watched the interview. I'm just kind of curious if any of you all have seen the posting, or better yet, watched it, and what your thoughts were on this time traveler dude. Apparently he was born, when did he say? He said in the interview that he was born like December 6th of 2019, something like that. Kind of interesting. Apparently they had him hooked up to a lie detector, reader deal, and he was able to pass. Kind of interesting. All right. Saw lots of empty holes in the stores. Anything particular, John? Like, is it looking like Rona 2.0, or what do you got out there? Kind of curious. During Rona, I did go to, I went to the grocery store a few times during Rona for no other reason than to film the empty shelves. I wasn't doing much on YouTube at the time, but I was fascinated by it, I guess, for lack of any other word. Even going straight to a farm for produce, meat, dairy, eggs, or better, just overall bread, just make yourself better quality too. Yeah, Raven, no doubt on the bread. However, you got to have wheat berries, and if you're not growing that, which most people aren't because it takes so much area and time to grow wheat, so buy your wheat berries. I get mine from Winco. Azure Standard is an option. I don't think I have personally ordered from Azure, but I know many that have. So that's an option, and they have drop boxes, or not drop boxes, but they have drop points all over the country. But I get mine from Winco Foods, which is up around Tulsa. I call ahead, tell them I want wheat berries and what I want, hard red wheat or hard white wheat, and they have it there. So you will need that for making bread. Meat, you can kind of do like I do. I've got some sheep, we've got some chickens, we've got some quail, but when it comes to big game, if you will, whatever we're not going to hunt, I set up a deal with this local rancher, and we just get a half beef from him intermittently. I'd say it's probably like every 9 months that we get a half beef. I was thinking about that because we don't go through quite a whole cow a year, but it's pretty close. And truthfully, we still have quite a bit left over in the freezer at this point. But if we can top things off, I'm cool with that too. And it'll only be a couple more months and we'll be back into deer season. So it's always good to have food in the freezer. Yeah, Williams, I've noticed that with not that I'm showing up at the farmers markets, but I've seen that report a lot. It's like 3D printed stuff, which is cool. Like I've got a 3D printer and it's fun, but I don't want to take that stuff down to the farmers market. That's not, that wasn't what the farmers market was. But I drove by a deal the other day and I stopped because it's somewhat local. I drove by their sign and it said homestead swap. So looked like they were going to be in a pretty big building. It was maybe 45 minutes from my house. But I'm kind of curious. I'd love to go up there and meet some like-minded folks. Hopefully it's at an hour of the day when I feel like I can get up there. Monetized insomnia. That's one way of looking at it. Right on. Hey, dude, nothing wrong with working nights. I'm kind of a night owl, but that's what I was talking about somebody today. They're like, oh, we go to bed at 9 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, I don't come inside from working until 11:30. Depends on what we got going on, but especially when it's hot out, man, I'll work all night long. All right. Not much going on in the news. Status quo in the lobster pot. Just stay the course and keep homestead. Yeah, it seems like that's kind of where I've gotten with it. It's like somebody crying wolf all the time, and that kind of gets old a lot for me. And if you don't take a step back, you'll get sucked into that deal where it's just like, let's max out the credit cards, the world's fixing to burn. And yeah, they've been saying that for like, I don't know, 20 years that I know of. Not saying it's not going to happen at some point, but you got to find the happy medium between like living in fear and just being prepared. So send a link for that, the time traveler deal. Let me see what I can find. Bear with me here. It was on like, it wasn't Yahoo News, but it was on something big like that. Let's see. Yeah, December 6th. I think this is the article that I was looking at. So I'm going to drop it in the chat. And then you can look at it. Not that I want you all to leave here and go to something else, but anyways. I thought I didn't watch the interview or anything like that. I was just kind of interested. Lie detectors are easy to cheat. I've heard that about metal detectors too, and sometimes they're working, so I don't know. It's hard to say. Bread is overrated. I don't know, man. I'm pretty fond of bread. Oh man, have you had just good, like, homemade, fresh ground bread? Or especially sourdough bread. That's like a whole nother level right there. Man, I'm not talking about like Wonder Bread from the grocery store. Like, that stuff's disgusting. But, I don't know. Alright, what do we got here? Just things you noticed, John. Alright, so thanks for the reminder. Yeah, what's a half beef gonna run you, Williams? Kind of curious. It was I know he went up this year. I think it was just over $2,000, right at $2,000 for a half beef. Raven, we have plenty of heat, okay? The heat will actually make me go at somebody's throat. I'm kind of being humorous there, but Yeah, you're not wrong. You ever heard that deal where it's hot outside, you should watch your tone when you're talking to me and be very polite? Something to that effect. That was very common in the field service world when we were working on dozers. All right. So, yeah, the America we grew up in is no longer. However, um, that's the case for each generation. Like, that's nothing new. There is nothing new under the sun. It changes, and who's to say that it's always for the worse? I'm not arguing one way or another here. We've certainly got downfalls, right? But some of what we've got going on is pretty neat. You know, we typically don't die from infections now, you know. But like our grandparents, I'm certain, I know for a fact, because mine were, they're like, it's just everything's going downhill. And it's like, well, yes. I mean, in some aspects, yeah, but also not. You know, I'm not saying that we've got more freedoms. We certainly do not. That's a whole nother deal. But, yeah, it's not the same, but it's not all bad, and it could always be worse. So, I don't know, kind of count our blessings type of deal. Before I get off too much with reading the comments, we had a local sheriff, county over, borders ours, came out and said that him and his department will not be using flock. So I was pretty pleased to hear that. Now hopefully we can get our county sheriff to release a similar statement and make a bold stand for the Constitution. It doesn't have to be a bold stand, you know, it could just be support the Constitution that you swore an oath to, but anyways. And I'm not saying our sheriff is good, bad, or anything like that. I'm interested to see when he puts out a similar statement. Easier to just keep to yourself and be an informed and prepared citizen. I'd even argue that's a civic duty. I won't disagree. Not even a little bit. I've not been doing a great job of being informed lately because I am kind of readjusting my priorities and listening to more like audiobooks and stuff like that with my time. And also I feel like I've got the camera running more, and since I use my phone to listen to things, I feel like that's kind of taking away from my ability to catch up on things. So there's that. Sketchy stuff for fry bread. Dude, my wife has her granny's old recipe, and her granny was not like full-blood Choctaw, but she was an elder in the Choctaw community. And dude, you talk about good fry bread, man. Good golly. That some Indian tacos, man. That's right up there. Garlic bread, yeah, cheesy garlic bread. I don't know about monkey bread. I've heard of that. I don't know what it is. But garlic bread, yep, I'm all over that, especially with extra cheese. Homemade, yes. Last year was 1,800. Well, that's not too bad. I think I gave 1,700 last year for a half beef. So that's not. We're right there in the same area. Sweat stops working above 80% humidity. Yeah, the problem with that is we are frequently above 80% humidity, it seems like. Yep. John, what's your temperature down there? I can't pull up my weather station for the homestead right now, but I'd say it probably feels like 85 degrees out right now. Like, it's not bad at all. Far cry from what Tuesday was. And I think starting on Sunday for us, it's like 100 and then 101, 103, 106 on Wednesday this upcoming week. So not looking forward to that. Oh, Raven, I hate to hear that you all are having vandalisms on the flock camera system. That's terrible. You should definitely not be supporting any of that. You know, don't leave bandsaw blades laying by there or anything like that. Now the cute new trick is they're moving to drones too, so that's fun. Yeah. You're not the first person to mention the whole drone thing. That's, I don't know. That's sketchy. Like, a countermeasure against a drone, okay. But that's assuming that the drone is low. I mean, shucks, I've got a DJI Maverick Mini or whatever, and I mean, I can unlock that dude and go up to however many feet. I mean, you can't see it up there. I mean, and that's what I have access to for sub $500. Imagine what the military and whoever flock and all has access to. I mean, I don't even know if that there is, what kind of countermeasure is there if it's at 1,500 feet scanning license plates. And I'm not trying to be smart here. I mean, I'm legitimately asking. And I don't know, maybe you don't want to answer that, but I am unaware. I mean, that's like that you're getting up to, you know, aircraft, you know, flight paths, not at 1,500 feet, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. That's interesting. If it's important, the news will find you. Yeah. What was that commercial? It was like, you been living under a rock? Was that like Geico or something? No, it wasn't Geico. I don't remember. It was the caveman deal. You know, it's so easy a caveman could do it. John, yeah. 76 now is not shabby at all. And it could be like that here. But 118 heat index, yeah, that's gross. The 112.9 that we had on Tuesday was miserable. And that's where I was running into a deal where things were getting so hot that they were quit working. Like the resistance was getting so high in some of the solar wiring that I was having issues. And so that's cool. Not really. Something else to work on. Went outside Monday to work on some stuff, and I heard the air fryer startup sound from the sun. Went back into the garage and turned on the AC and refurbished my wife's granddad's tool cart. Dude, you have AC in your garage? What is this? I've never heard of such. Never experienced such, I should say. AC in my garage. Good golly. With lasers for them now. Yeah, what's that gonna cost, Raven? Good golly. But I'm cool with an Iron Dome. Whatever I can do to support that. Alright, I'll have to check that out. It's not like there's spy balloons above every city metro in the country. It's a mobile unit. Oh, okay. Right on. But still, it's got to be a pretty hefty one if it's able to cool down your garage. Man, I am super pleased with the mini split. This one that I installed in the office, I mean, it was running today trying to cool it down, but I was in and out of the office a lot today trying to do some cleanup. But that dude will keep a room cold, and it's quiet. So I am super pleased. And I was glancing at that coupon for a buddy last night. I did not, I guess I had forgotten or whatever, that it was a 20% off coupon for those mini splits from that company. So, definitely look into them if you're in the market for a mini split, and if not, no big deal. But that was a good deal, I thought. Current viewers, 47 viewers. Oh gosh, yeah. If it was down to 80, that would have felt like walking into a walk-in cooler, man. That's not shabby. Hey, hush, please. Tua, quiet. Got the dog over here trying to bark. Oh, Raven, I got no issues with the Watt cycle thus far, and I don't really anticipate any, but I just mean I've not had any issues there. Um, looks like I've got another brand that should be coming. I don't know, sometime next month. I'll be trying out as well. Um, but yeah, like, I'm just gonna keep on testing it and see how it goes. But so far, no issues. It's been a good battery and a good backup. The problem I'm running into right at this particular moment is I'm pretty sure the soft start went out in my central AC on the house, and I am running my walk-in cooler because I brought home a bunch of dog bones from the butcher, so I'm running the cooler, trying to keep it cool in there while I feed out these bones for the dogs. And what else? I've got something else running that is out of the ordinary. That's a 15,000 BTU window unit out there in the walk-in cooler. And then I think the mini split on the office was having to run a lot, and then the AC on the house was trying. So what I'm trying to get at is my solar was not able to keep up with things here the last little bit. The two EG4 6000 XPs just not putting out enough power to run the entire homestead when there's such large draws. Now, come fall and winter, the kicker is I have shorter days, right? But the upside is that we should be able to, let me think here, sorry. We won't be running air conditioners nearly as often. So, I mean, I'll have a little bit of heat going on in the office, but that's not bad. Walk-in cooler won't be running. So the load will be a lot less. We shouldn't have a problem running on the solar power through the winter. Right now, it's just kind of intermittent. You know, it's really hot and it's clear, and those are great days to run it off of solar, but it's just been a little bit of a chore lately with all the extra AC units running. So there's that. Okay, inverter EG4 all day. But if those batteries are doing good, might be a cheaper option. Yeah. I don't think that there's going to be anything wrong with them. They're working just fine. So, just kind of along for the ride there. Let me get this camera readjusted, maybe. Okay. So, can't wait to get out of town. Town heat sucks. Yeah, all that frickin' concrete and pavement is gross. No, I don't think so, Raven. The thing is, I mean, you got to think about what all I'm trying to run here. I've got 2,000 square foot house there, basically. And then we've got the greenhouse. It's got exhaust fans running most of the day. We've got the office out here running my mini split plus whatever I'm running in the office. And then the walk-in cooler and the hot tub and the little pool pump filter is running right now. So if you put all that together, I mean, you can do that, but it might be overkill. I don't know what the price is on that FlexBoss 21. Maybe it's something I need to look at. But probably overkill for what you're doing. But, you know, I don't know. Kind of do your thing. If you got the money, then roll with it. I just want to learn how to get a 5,000 BTU running on dedicated solar 24/7, my latest system at the gridded property, maybe. Okay, so 5,000 BTU, but what's the wattage draw on that, John? And then we can work it backwards from there. You know, and you got to keep in mind, like, 24/7, what's your plan for how many days of overcast weather do you want to ride that through? So, I don't know. kind of curious. Get back to me. Let me know what your wattage is on that 5,000 BTU. So what your draw is going to be. Are we talking like an inverter style, or are we talking like an old school window unit? If it's the inverter style, it's going to be a little bit less of a load, more consistent load, and not so many spikes. And well, I'll wait to hear what you got to say, and then we'll go from there. You need to put a soft start and a surge protector on my central AC. Had a substation across town catch fire last night and lost power for a couple hours last night. Yeah, screw all of that. The soft start, good idea. Surge protector. I don't have a surge protector on my house, but what I do have is that EMP shield, which has a lightning protection kind of built into it. In fact, it comes with a warrant or insurance policy for lightning. I think it's $25,000 they'll cover on lightning damage. That was one of the main reasons I really did the EMP shield. Plus, maybe it'll work if there's an EMP. But, yeah. So, look at that EMP shield. Maybe that would work as kind of a surge protector there. It's approximately $7,000. Good golly, $7,000 for a FlexBoss 21? That's insane. One battery and one inverter. Oh, okay, $3,500 for just the FlexBoss. That's still pretty high. Okay, 600 watts, John. That's nothing, man. That's not bad at all. So, my phone's tied up with my calculator, so let me see if I can pull up a calculator on my laptop. Okay? So you've got 600 watts. Let's say that you've got one 100 amp hour, 48 volt battery. Okay? That's going to be 5,000 watts. So 5.2 kilowatts is what's going to be stored in that 100 amp hour, 48 volt battery. Okay? So you got 5,000. We're going to divide that by 600 running watts on this 5,000 BTU window unit. So that's 8.3 hours right there. Okay? So with one 48 volt 100 amp hour battery and what are you going to use for an inverter? What kind of, excuse me. Are you going to try and use like an all-in-one, you know, charge controller, inverter for this? But just one 48 volt battery is not bad. That'll get you 8 hours. So, let's say you get 2 of them. Okay? So now you've got 16 hours of runtime on that AC unit. Not just 16 hours of runtime, you've got 16 hours of compressor runtime. Okay, if that 600 watts is the compressor. You've got 600 watts, or 16 hours if you have 2 100 amp hour, 48 volt batteries. That's not shabby. Okay? So, kind of shooting from the hip here, but that's probably like $2,500 worth of batteries, something like that. Might can get a little bit cheaper, but it's gonna be something like that. I think EcoWorthy had some cheaper ones. HumSync had some cheaper ones, but I would look at the inverter style. LG Clearview is one that I've used before. Let me show you. It was pulling like 500 watts when I used it. Let me look. Clearview. I'm looking at my orders and I'm going to pull this up. So I've ordered 2. Yeah, now this is a 12,000 BTU. Let me look and see what it's using. It says 34% more efficient. Let's see what it's using for amperage. Oh my, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Act like I've done something today. Okay. Man, how many watts does this use? I've looked this up before. Okay. On high, now this is a bigger unit. This is 1170 watts. But this is a 12,000 BTU, which means it's not going to be running nearly as hard as the 5,000 BTU. Let me look at a smaller one here. Okay. So this one's a 10,000 BTU. Cools 450 square feet. And it's going to run at 900 watts, which is still not bad. So, let me send you this. I'm going to put a link to this down below. But I put this on one of my cabins. All right, there you go. John, check that out. That's not bad. Okay, the city here really hammers the grid when they start up. Really hammers the grid when they start up the grid. That's how the previous central compressor died. It was almost 25 years old. It also could have been because it was 25 years old. Ferrite clamps help with EMP and surge protection, but that's a little cylinder thing they put on wires for some electronics. Can get them in any size. The ferrite clamps, I don't remember them being called that. What did we call them? Man, I used to put them on my radio equipment to cut down the interference, but I cannot recall what we called them. I don't remember them being called that. They're like a little plastic clip, but they've got like a magnet or metal in them. I didn't know that they helped with surge protection. So the FlexBoss is 16 kilowatt output power, 12 kilowatt with battery. Okay. Well, then if it's 12 kilowatt with battery, that's basically what I'm at with two EG4 6000 XPs. So I'd be better off just picking up a third 6000 XP, it sounds like. Because then I could add more solar input, which is really what I need to do anyways. I need to add a west and east facing array. So, you know, things. There are standard window units and there are inverter window units too. Yeah, yes, you're right. These LG Clearviews are inverter window units. John. Ferris beads. Okay, I don't know anything about the Ferris bead thing. The 21,000 solar input. That's pretty good because I've got oh man, what are these calculate at? I don't remember what the 6,000 XPs will put in. I've got 15,000 watts worth of solar. Huh. I gotta think about that. I still think it's advantageous for me to just buy a third, because then if one goes down, I've still got two more. Is kind of how I look at it. And that was another reason why I went with the 6,000s versus just so. Having two inverters, but what do I know? Yep, exactly. I think. All right, hold on. I gotta check my phone. Ugh. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Okay. Well, what else we got going on? Anything? Anything exciting? What have you all? This was supposed to be on the topic of conversation. What have you all been able to accomplish with the heat? Because it has been a killer for me. I've been trying to work in the shade, but it doesn't work real well. I'm not gonna lie. Been hot the last couple days. Today wasn't miserable, so I was able to get some stuff done outside. But even with it being hot today, I went ahead and just pressure washed the truck. That was able to keep me cooled down a little bit doing that. But I didn't realize my video had like gotten behind. Anyways, I'm watching this on my laptop as well. So other than that, I've been cleaning up in the office, trying to get like an area set up where I can do my lives and stuff in there and not be so dependent on being outside, but also having like not a studio set up, but just like a decent backdrop where it doesn't look like my life's in total shambles. I try to trying to get it cleaned up. So I worked on that today, organizing in there and trying to make sure I can kind of control what's in the backdrop of my videos so that I don't get kicked off of YouTube, because, you know, YouTube doesn't love everything that I do. And yeah, loading up stuff in the dump trailer. I took a load this week that was like jam-packed, and I'm going to try and take one more load this week, and I'm going to try and take another load to the donation place this week. And I'm kind of running into this issue where like I have decent things that I don't need, but trying to get them into the hands of people that can use them is a challenge for me. And then I end up just either taking it to donation or feeling like it's too dirty or whatever, not organized enough that I need to just throw it away. And I hate that. That is the one, maybe not the only thing, but that is one of the reasons I wish I lived closer to town where I could like set that stuff out on the curb or something and somebody would come get it. It's just, I live too far from other people for like it to be beneficial, but it's also like, it's just piling up on my end. You know, like I was telling somebody yesterday at church, I've got tools that I made for when I worked for Caterpillar and was in field service that I'm never going to use again. But I hate to throw them away because somebody could use them. I mean, I had to make them for a reason, right? But it's stuff like that where I'm like, oh my gosh, I just need to clean up some more. I'm trying to get rid of things that are not adding value, or at the very least, maintaining value in my life. Not what I wanted to do. Garage is cleaner than it's been in a long time. What do you do? Like, are you just organizing, Williams, or are you like throwing things away? Because I've been in this throwing things away phase lately, like a lot. So nothing really due to the heat. I did some tractor work. Did you work on a tractor, or were you like using your tractor to do stuff, John? And you have a cab tractor or open cab? What were you doing? Nothing. Literally nothing. Broke on the Jeep. Need to fight with Mopar. Have a two-wheel drive paperweight. It sucks to be outside doing anything, but gardeners doing well. That's about it. Hey, at least you got a garden going on, because I don't even have that this year. I keep thinking like, oh, this year, I don't know how I'm so freaking busy. It's almost irritating. Almost. But it's a blessing, but good. I don't understand where the time goes sometimes. it takes so much energy to keep up with things around the homestead, and you still feel like if you are there, you still don't feel like you're getting everything done. Okay, how do you handle trash disposal being that way? So the transfer station's about 15 miles away, something like that. And what I generally do is I will load up trash in my dump trailer and take it there now that I have a dump trailer. And we just keep a bunch of trash cans on the place. You could easily keep trash cans and put them in the bed of your truck and take them to the transfer station. For the previous 7 years, we used to have some dumpsters local to us. And so what I would do is I would burn all of my trash, and then I would load up the ash into feed sacks. And after I got together like 10 of those feed sacks, I'd put them in the UTV or truck or whatever and take them down to them dumpsters and get rid of them. That's just how I did it. Now, I've got too much going on to be able to sit out there and burn trash for several hours in the evening. So I just load it up in the dump trailer. I kind of use the dump trailer as our dumpster. And there might be a couple piles, but when I know I'm going to take the trash, I will throw everything in there and I will go empty the dump trailer, and that way the trailer is not sitting there just full all the time. Do you burn paper, cardboard, and just dump on plastics? Not like right now. I even take the cardboard, man. I don't have the time. And I've had fires get out, even though I've got a super good burn pit. Like pine needles fall in the wrong spot, and I've had them get out. And so now I've got sorry, I've got too much going on to keep up with burning. Both wanted to fix the truck, decided I'd rather not heat stroke together. Yeah, no doubt. Next year's garden starts now. I don't disagree, but yeah, I mean, my raised beds are full. Like, they've got soil in them. They're fertilized. I mean, I just don't have the time. And oddly, like, and you all know this, it's like it's not just the time, it's the money too. Like, if I'm gonna, I would really like to do just some raised beds over some gravel and have a spot where there weren't weeds and I could get in there and grow my food and do that thing. It's just very time consuming. I haven't even gotten to watch Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead, which turned into Pecan Grove. I have not gotten to watch them in months now. And they basically just full-time garden. They just full-time homestead YouTube garden. And he used to say, oh, you all just don't understand how busy YouTube keeps us. And I'm like, oh, nonsense. And he is not lying. He's a super honest man. YouTube just, there's a lot to it. John, what kind of Husqvarna tractor are you looking at? Or do you have? I was looking at one. I used to have a 3301. It was a little light. And now I went and looked at a 3901 the other day, open cab, open station. And it's like $5,000. No, what was it? It's almost $8,000 higher than I paid for that 3301. And I'm really just having a hard time with spending that much on a tractor that I'm still going to get out there and just sweat my tail off on. Or just be cold. And I can deal with the cold a lot better. But I'm like, man, if I got a cab tractor, I'd be able to get out there and brush hog when it's miserably hot. I'd be able to go clear roads and stuff like that when it's, got snow. So I don't know. I'm kind of toying back and forth. I need a tractor on the homestead. I can certainly justify one. The paying for it's a whole nother issue. But I did end up going and looking at that same time, I looked at a 54 horse, and that is a lot better for what I do. A lot more weight, a lot bigger, just bulkier. I don't need to move a ton of weight, but it would be super nice to be able to work on my own driveway and things like that with it. So, I don't know. Getting a tractor again is definitely in my near future. I've had several, and I do miss them. And that's one of the deal with the raised garden bed. It's like, I need to move or I would like to move where my beds are at. They're too far from the house and they're just not in a great spot. So kind of contemplating where I'd want to move them to and how I'd want to do that, and get water to them and all of that goes into it. So, but I'm not moving raised beds by hand, that's for sure. So, okay. My little garden isn't doing crap this year. Yeah. Man, that's weird. I wonder if it's all the rain up there for you. Just kind of curious. Yeah, the money hurts my feelings. We just keep saving until we can leave, month by month, so close that it's pretty much there, but then making it torture every paycheck, waiting to watch it add up. Yeah, no doubt. I've been there, man. That's how it was when we were trying to build this homestead and just working and trying to put money back and work. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Our garden was surprisingly well. Raised bed, did minimal composting, tomatoes. Oh, right on. Cool, dude. Nice. Watch pots never boil. Yeah, John, no big deal. I was just kind of curious. Just curious. Trying to find side work, and it's actually crazy how dry it is here. Huh. What, Hmm. Side work. Are you trying to do like all virtual side work or what, Raven? I didn't know. I mean, I'm not trying to be smart here. I've got a slight idea about what you do, but I didn't know what you do, so I didn't know exactly how that would all play into whether you could pick up side work or what. A belt-driven PTO. I didn't. So is that an older? Is that an older tractor, John? Belt-driven PTO. Interesting. Once you get something with forks and put some sort of pump on it. Yeah, I did something like that with a bladder bag. I got that idea from Southern Prepper 1. And I did something with a bladder bag in the back of my UTV with an 18-volt pump that I can run off the Milwaukee batteries, and was able to really do quite a good job moving water that way. What slows down for us is refilling that bladder when we need to. But yeah, an IVC tote and having a little like 1 horsepower gas pump on that would certainly do a lot. John, once you convert to raised beds, man, I don't think you'll ever grow in the dirt again. Well, in the ground again. The raised beds. Oh, good golly. I'm going to have to wrap it up here shortly. The raised beds they hold moisture a lot better. I feel like you don't have near the weed pressure, and it's easier on your back and everything. Like they are the way to go. I can't even get weekend cleanouts anymore. I don't know what do you mean by a weekend cleanout? Oh, okay, John. All right. So I might be familiar with that PTO driven, or that belt driven PTO. I think I know what you're talking about. Hard on my schedule because I'm first shift on Pacific Standard Time, living East. Oh shucks, where'd the screen go? Living Eastern Time, so I'm cancer for a lot of bosses looking for help. Gotcha. So what is that? I'm trying to think. Pacific Time is earlier. Oh man. So what does that mean? You guys start in the middle of the night? How does that work? Oh, maybe not. No, I get what you're saying now. Okay, so if you start at 11, that's what is it 3 hours earlier Pacific time from Eastern? So if you start 11, that's 8 o'clock Pacific time, something like that. Raised beds, way easier. Yeah, infinitely better growing. Yeah, and like I love the theory of growing in the ground. And Curtis Stone, off grid with Curtis Stone, he was the urban farmer up in Kelowna, Canada. Dude, he got me hooked on gardening. I mean, I've been watching his stuff for like 10 years, and I'm thoroughly disappointed the fact that he's not making videos now, but he's got a whole other thing going on in his life. But anyways, um, he's the one who got me hooked into the in-ground gardening, and in hindsight, I wish I had made that a priority when I lived at the airport up in Poto. We had good soil there, and my water bill was paid, and I could have farmed that place, but time and ignorance, just not knowing, and so I didn't, and here I am. But he's the one who kind of got me into how to grow in the ground, and then when I got out here on the homestead, it's like a half inch of topsoil, and then it just falls into clay and rock and shale and all of that crap. Unless it was where an old slash pile was, in which case then we've got like 10 inches of topsoil because that wood all decomposed over the years. But so I was able to garden in some of that when I came out here at first on this homestead. But once I swapped over to raised beds, it was like the garden just took off. It was like all of a sudden I wasn't as ignorant as I thought I was with gardening. We were just overrun with stuff then. So a lot of it had to do with the I get sidetracked when I read a comment and then I can't finish my thought. Oh my gosh. A lot of it had to do with the clay and the rock and our soil. That's why I was so terrible at growing in the ground here. Okay, my bad. Anyways, Pacific time is strange. Went to Colorado once and woke up at 4:30 to daylight. Oh, cleanouts. Okay, so I get what you're saying now. We call them something different, but I know what you're talking about. Residential cleanout, people hoarding. Yeah, man, I love cleaning up. Oh, good golly. I'm fixing I have to wrap it up. I love cleaning out people's places. I'll get all sorts of cool stuff then, and some of it we're even able to flip, turn around and flip. So, I'll take that. Airport farms are an intriguing idea. Yeah, aren't they? I mean, I was thinking like the quarter acre, high intensity, high rotation farming like Curtis Stone was doing, but that is a thought. Now, like where we were, they would, they baled hay, off the airport, so there was that. Andy's Fresh Organic Microgreen, 2090. Do you see a lot of 3 to 5 acre owner finance properties in that area? Not in this exact area anymore. I used to. But what are you looking for? Send me an email. I'm going to drop my email in here. And when you send an email, let them know that, put in there that you're responding from the live or something like that, so that way you don't get sent away in trash. But that way when my assistant is screening that stuff, oh shucks. Well, anyways, there's the lot. There it is. Here, let me see if I can put your username in here, Andy. When you do this, just put in the comment, or in this subject line, looking for land or something. Give me an idea what you're looking for and where, and I will see what I can do to help you out there. I haven't seen you on here before, but welcome to the live, and thanks for tuning in. I might know of places, but it kind of depends on what you're looking for. I cleaned out a meth house once, never again. Yeah, no, we just light a fire on that, dude. We're not cleaning out meth house. I used to love it. Secondhand market is the best for finding antiques. I used to work in antiques and cleanouts and estate sales. Huh. I don't get into the antiques, but what I would end up doing, I'd just find things that other people thought were trash, man. You know, one man's trash is another's treasure. So we'd get paid to haul things off, and we would just sort them on site. We'd start making piles. If it was something we could make $1 off of, we took it to the house, and if it was something that was trash, then we loaded it up on the trash trailer. Either way, we were getting paid for it, and the deal was it just had to leave that area. So some of it, you know, nothing like making a $500 tip on things when you can resell it. And other times, you know, other times we're still getting paid to haul it off to the trash, so to the dump. You're going to reduce yourself to a 10 by 20 for the raised bed area and keep it manageable. That's not a bad idea. I'm probably more in like where mine are sitting right now, probably like 30 by 50, but I'm not even using them all, man. Like, it's just, it's more than I can use. Hey, thanks, Andy. Appreciate that. You are welcome. I hope I can help, and reach out. Thanks for tuning in from Florida, man. Appreciate it. Have a great evening. This is why I need a truck again, Lord willing. Dude, you can do a lot with a trailer. I made it through a lot of my life with an SUV and stuff like that. I mean, I've had trucks intermittently, but having an SUV, I mean, I still made bank with that. Let me think here. I'll tell you where I really was able to make money is when I had the crane truck on I had a knuckle crane on a Ram 5500 with a 9-foot service bed on the back of that. And I could swing in a skid with my knuckle crane and set my welder, my cutting torch bottles, and my torch cutting bottles. And then it had my air compressor and all that on there. But if I wanted an empty truck bed, I could use my crane, set that skid on the ground, and go to work, you know, either hauling goosenecks or whatever. I made so much money with that truck. That truck cost, let me think here. That truck cost me, I think I bought it for $55,000. I put a $7,500 bed on it, and I salvaged the crane off of my previous truck. But even if we counted the total cost of that crane, let's say that I had another 20 grand in it. So $80,000 in this truck that I rigged up, and I had that truck from 2017 to 21. So 4 years. And I ran across one client's end of year bill the other day, and it was $140,000. So that truck made stupid money. And that is the one nice thing I can say about my trucks is they all pay for themselves very well. You know, I might have a truck note at times, and sometimes I don't, but the trucks make money. I mean, even the little Tacoma has done very well for the family. Okay, meanwhile, back at the ranch, this is where I need a truck again. Yeah, we've read that. Found a Snap-on 3/8 swivel. Engine builders use them mostly. Probably from the 50s. Was my wife's great-granddad. Oh, that's neat, dude. I'd buy another Suburban before I bought a truck. Yeah, I don't know. Suburban, the nice thing about the Suburban is the big back of it. Really, you just need something that can move a trailer, because you cannot compete with the size of a trailer. That was one of the cool things about how that service truck was set up. I could pull like a 16-foot trailer behind me and actually have enough reach on the crane to set things on that trailer. So I'd go to auctions and buy all the stuff that was too big for other people. Or even I could pull a gooseneck and still be able to swing up the crane, because I think I had 21 feet of reach on that crane. In fact, there's a 1,000-gallon propane tank behind me, and I bought that out of somebody's yard. I took my service truck up there and a 16-foot trailer, They owned the tank, but they were converting their house over to fully electric and doing away with propane, and we were building this homestead, so I was in need of a 1,000-gallon propane tank. So I took my 16-foot trailer and I unhooked it and parked it right next to the 1,000-gallon propane tank. This dude was heavy. And then I backed the truck over on the other side of the propane tank and picked it up with my crane and leaned over and set it on that 16-foot trailer, and then backed my truck back up to it, chained everything down, and drove it home. Well, I didn't drive the propane tank. I trailered the propane tank home like 2 hours, but I got the propane tank for a song because nobody could get in there to pick it, and I had a crane for it. So highly recommend a crane if you can swing it. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up. It's 9 o'clock. Been at this for about an hour, and it was good to visit with you guys. I mean, there's not as many of us on here as there are sometimes, but hey, we'll get there. I appreciate you all reliably tuning in. Like, no joke. John, you're very frequent on here. Really appreciate you just taking the time to leave comments and help drum things up. Reach out to me on your AC system. I'm going to be curious to see if there's not something I can, I'd like to talk to you about it. So reach out, send me an email, and just put in the subject the AC system or something. And let's talk about your plans for that and what I can do to help you there. Raven, really appreciate you tuning in, dude. I appreciate you sending me texts through the week and whatnot, touching base. Great to see you on here. Williams, thanks, dude. Really appreciate it. Of course, I see your text messages intermittently throughout the week in the group chat, but it's nice to have a little community. I know there's not very many of us, and we'll get there at some point, but you all are the OGs that have kind of helped get this to where it's at. And I just want you to know that your input and your participation in this is all very much appreciated, and it's certainly what's going to help continue to grow this channel as we move forward. So appreciate it. I just want to make sure that I let you all know that. So I don't know if you all can see on here your top fan scores and stuff like that or not, but I was just going to anyways, all right, guys, I appreciate it very much. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me on in your homes. I mean, like, for real, I appreciate it. I do not take it lightly, and I appreciate it. All right, guys, you all have a great evening. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one. Mountain Wizard out. See ya. Oh, Jim, looks like you just chimed in here. Come into your area in September, specifically looking for an off-grid homestead land from California. Jim, drop me an email. I think you did. I think I recall seeing an email about you somewhere along the way. Drop me an email and let me know exactly what you're looking for. And I think you said you had reached out to Bob Bowman. Let him know you talked to me. Yeah, see what I can do to help you. And if it's one of my places, sweet. And if it's not, no worries. See what I can do to help find you a good little piece. And talk about whether it's a primary, secondary home or what. But all right, just reach out. All right, folks, we'll catch you in the next one. Mountain Wizard out. See ya.